Welcome, everybody, to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. Today, we're going to be talking to Andrew Callahan of Channel 5. He posted just a bombshell home run interview with Hunter Biden, which got him to open up. It was over 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It sort of reminded me of like old school Joe Rogan.
It was extraordinary. I mean, it was really interesting. It was Hunter's first big sit down. I guess he also gave an interview to Jamie Harrison, but I'm really curious about like how it came about and what Andrew's approach was and what he thought about it, all sorts of things.
Yeah, so it certainly made me see Hunter in a different light afterwards.
Yeah.
Like there were parts of that interview where I was like, oh shit,
I
didn't know he was this based.
There were parts that were great. The parts where he's like covering for his dad, not so great.
But that's also like, I get it. He's his son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand that.
Yeah.
And also, Joe
parts,
Biden rides hard for Hunter Biden.
But
when everybody was shitting on Hunter, he was like, I love you, you know?
The parts, too, though, where he's like, oh, you know, everybody's so mad about me, like, sitting on these boards. I'm actually a very accomplished individual. And I mean, there was a lot there that were like, all right, buddy. All right.
That part was trash,
Yeah.
but the part that was true was when he, like, compares his own corruption to Kushner and the Trump Juniors.
Oh, totally, where he's like, I don't want to hear anything from these
He's
people.
like, bitch, I make paintings. These motherfuckers just took $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that is very fair.
Yeah, definitely.
And not just a whataboutism.
No, that's right. So anyway, I can't wait to talk to him about this. So really looking forward to it. That interview went mega viral, by the way. Like, one day it was like over 1 million.
It was great content.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
just putting everything, the newsworthiness aside and whatever, he is a very actually interesting and compelling person.
Yeah, and when he's talking about how to do crack, like how to make crack.
Yeah.
I saw Rogan watching it on his podcast and was like, damn, that makes me want to try crack. And then he was like, all right, but no, don't. Like, he realized the influence he has, and he was like, no, actually, don't do that. I don't actually mean that.
Emily made the funniest comment about it. She was like, he made crack sound like it's maha, because he's like, you're just getting out the impurities.
Right, yeah. But by the way, you think they won't add that shit to maha? Like, they're having blue fish tank dye right now. That's what RFK has on it. They have nicotine patches in 24/7.
And RFK Jr., didn't he say, like, oh, heroin's what helped him to focus and get good grades?
He's like, I was failing. I was getting really bad grades. Then I tried heroin, and I could finally sit down and focus. I love that. That's awesome. No, because not gonna lie, I had a similar experience with, like, Vicodin.
Really?
Yeah, where when I had that, I was like, oh, shit.
Wait, which one? What is Vicodin? Which one does that do?
It's like an opiate. Or an opioid. Whichever. It's like a pain pill.
See, opioids are not.
Yeah, you feel woozy.
Not for me. They make me feel terrible.
I take them and I'm like, ooh, I can focus. I can think. I feel good. And apparently RFK is the same as me, which is terrifying.
Let me just say, you are nothing like RFK,
Thank
babe.
God.
You are nothing like him.
All right, so we're going to get to Andrew Callahan in a little bit, but before we do, I don't know how many. See, this is the thing, Crystal. What I'm about to show you here, like, this will go right over the head of a normie. And in fact, if I'm being honest, when I first saw it, I was like, this is a weird post, but it kind of went over my head too.
Same. Yeah.
And then I needed other people to point out, like, exactly what went on here. But let me show you this. So let me put up, this is from a post from Homeland Security, and it says the following: a heritage to be proud of, a homeland worth defending. And then it says, American Progress, John Gast. And you can see there's a picture here, like an old school picture, and it's basically like Trail of Tears, westward expansion type shit, Manifest Destiny type shit. So you have Native Americans who are basically like running away from the colonizers. You see the trains coming through. You see this weird fucking angel in the sky, and it's a way to try to, you know, sort of glorify the vicious invasion of this country and basically pillaging of it from coast to coast and stealing of the land from the Native Americans and stuff like that.
Vicious genocide of Native Americans.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like celebrating the genocide of Native Americans and like white people taking over the United States of America, right? That's what it is. Okay. But it actually goes deeper than that. So as Soaked on Left here says, Groyper occupied government. The reason he says that is because, now let me show you this next post. So if you pay close attention to the post from Homeland Security, both H's are capitalized. So it's capital HH. Okay. When you hear capital HH, what do you think?
Heil Hitler.
Right. Okay. Let's keep going. The post is 14 words long. Do you guys know what the 14 words are? The 14 words are it's like the Nazi slogan, the Nazi saying. It has 14 words in it, and they're known as the 14 words. Okay. Odd capital letters, AD and HH. That stands for 1488. Which, again, that's white nationalist signifier. post itself is literally white nationalist propaganda. So this is, and I think this is the correct reading, to say that you have some young Republican intern who gets to run the Homeland Security, Twitter page, and they're like, let's just Nazi post,
Yeah.
Let's just Nazi post. And so what people need to come to terms with is, as bad as you think it is, homie, it's worse. This is worse. Like, this is straight up like groypers in high positions of power and authority. And you look around and you go, Stephen Miller's a fucking Nazi. Donald Trump's a fucking Nazi. This is why we have concentration camps being opened, Alligator Alcatraz. They want to open like 4 or 5 more of those things. They want to send 30,000 immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. They still want to send people to CCOP, the concentration camp in El Salvador. They're getting rid of due process. They're getting rid of habeas corpus, rounding up people at 7-Elevens and Home Depots and hair salons. This is the end result. And now they're straight up Nazi posting about it.
Yeah. It makes me think also, remember that ASMR video they put out
Yes.
of like the fascist deportation porn?
Yep.
And it's like, I don't know how many of you guys watched the Jubilee episode with Mehdi, where you see these guys who come out and just be like, yeah, I'm a fascist. Dude who got ultimately fired from his job. Good. But, just...
Apparently he got fired earlier, so he lied about it to make money.
Oh, for real?
I read that this morning.
Classic. Yeah. Anyway, just happy to come out and be like, you need to go, bro, was what another one said, just because he, was an immigrant, not from here, even though he's Mehdi's a citizen. And they're just like, the young online right, this is who they are. Like, this is who they are. And so, your average normie, sort of like young conservative or whatever, I'm not saying this is who they are, but the type of people who would be politically engaged and motivated enough to get into like a position of power in the White House.
They're Nazis.
I remember too on the Ron DeSantis campaign. Remember they had some like
they posted a Nazi video.
Some
That's
staff,
right.
like low-level junior staffer who embedded in a Ron DeSantis video that they posted online, like a bunch of Nazi propaganda.
They
like
tried
this
to
shit
argue
just recurs over and over.
Trump was way too pro-trans. They had like some pro-trans things he said
that's
in
right.
the video. Remember,
Yeah,
he
that's
was
right.
like, I don't care what bathroom Caitlyn Jenner uses at Trump Tower.
I mean, originally he was kind of like whatever
well,
about
that's
it.
because it wasn't a hot-button right-wing political issue yet.
Yeah,
right.
exactly right. So, this is like in a significant and influential fringe that is now being like mainstreamed in our government. And it's not the first time I've seen, I think it was actually the Homeland Security account, but I've seen it may have been a different government account, but official Trump government accounts posting other similar images of like, the white ideal of like, oh, this is what they took for you, cut from you type of content. And so when I saw this post, I did see this on my timeline, and I just looked at it as like, oh, typical, like, sort of right-wing white propaganda. But I definitely, and at this point, it's so normalized that it doesn't even rate as like particularly scandalous, It's
interesting because you saw this in the thing with Mehdi. Like, when Mehdi kind of accused him of being a Nazi, he sort of hesitated a little bit. And he's like, well, they did persecute the church, and I don't really like that. And he's like, well, what do you think of the persecution of the Jews? And he was like, well, I'm not necessarily for that. But eventually, the guy said, I'm a fascist.
Yeah.
And he was like laughing about it. But my thought on this is, it took a long time for these people to get to the point where they'd be like, yeah, I'm a fascist. And they'd rep that.
Yeah.
The next step is to not hesitate when Mehdi says or anybody says to these people, you're a Nazi. The next step is for them to go, yeah, I'm a Nazi. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've backslid so much that's the next step.
Completely. And what was it, Greg Gutfeld over on Fox News?
Yeah, we need to
was joking about,
retake the word Nazi.
We need to reclaim the N-word Nazi.
Right.
And joking about it. And, that's how it starts is like, oh, I'm just being edgy. It's just a joke. And then it becomes their actual political ideology.
Right.
And what I actually noticed in that exchange with that dude, I think his name is Connor, Mehdi did not say, are you a Nazi? He said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Right.
And the dude was like,
well,
the dude was like sort of excited to jump oh, you're calling me a Nazi. And Mehdi was like, no. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis? And then he goes in, well, they persecuted the church a little bit, so I don't like that. That was his grievance with them. But he was so happy and so thrilled to get the chance on this, prominent platform to be like, I'm a fascist.
Yeah.
Because Mehdi says to him, well, I think that you're beyond a far-right conservative. And he says, well, what would you say? I'd say you're a fascist. And he's like, yes, I am. I'm a fascist. And he was so
giggly, happy.
Delighted.
Yeah.
Because it felt so, like, transgressive and, like, naughty. And he was, like, delighted to show off for his, like, groyper buddies. And it's the same thing with this shit. Like, they know that the people who are in their circles, that they'll get the joke. They'll be in on the joke. They'll see it. They'll think it's based. They'll think it's cool. You know, they'll love that their Nazi-ass views are reflected in the Trump administration. And it's not just through these posts, to your point, like the Stephen Miller one is really important. Stephen Miller is a Nazi.
Right.
He talks like a Nazi intentionally. His policies are Nazi. What he's doing in the government is Nazi. And he is maybe the most powerful Trump administration official at this point, who runs significant portfolios, certainly immigration, but also appears to run also national security portfolios as well. Like, that's what this government is.
Yeah. I mean, we need to bring back shame. We need to bring back shame. We need to bring back bullying. We need to bring back ass whoopings. We need to bring back, when somebody crosses a bright red line society, they need to fucking know that they crossed that bright red line society. So when this motherfucker got fired, the answer is fuck yeah. Now, like I said, apparently he lied about it. He got fired earlier than that. And he's using it to raise money, which is basically fraud, robbing from other fucking incel groiper losers, right? But good, good. I hope all these motherfuckers who are out there fucking goose stepping all over the place get fired, get fucked. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can't, the idea, and then notice what he did. He ran back to the loving embrace of liberal values when he got fired.
Oh,
right.
He
goes, oh, free speech, free speech. You were just saying you're a fucking Nazi, you dumb bitch. Ain't no free speech in Nazi Germany. That's not how, according to your own ideology, you shouldn't be for free speech. So now, you can't run into the loving embrace of liberal values after you denounce liberal values in front of the world, in front of millions of people on Jubilee.
But that's what they do.
That's what they do. They use liberalism against itself. So fuck you. We're done with you. It's over. We're gonna fucking bully you. Get back in the closet. You deserve a fucking ass whooping. All of you, get back in the closet. Go fuck yourself.
And that dude actually explicitly, his whole ideology is to use liberal values to achieve his like fantasy, you know, Catholic autarky or whatever, like autocracy. Because he said like, we're gonna vote for the dictator, and then that'll be it.
Right.
So, and you see this a lot. J.D. Vance is probably the king of this, using liberal-sounding language to defend totalitarianism.
Right.
Like that is one of the games they play, because people do, you know, they like liberal, basic, fundamental liberal rights and values are very popular, and so they'll use that language in service of goals that are completely at odds with actual like liberal values.
I like when he said, well, they wouldn't come after me.
Right.
They was like, wait, you want like an authoritarian leader? Well, what happens when they come after you and your family? He goes, well, they wouldn't come after me. Like, you fucking precious little snowflake
Not the way that
bitch.
works.
Do you understand nothing about anything? Do you not understand the way the world works at all? One fucking disagreement with the dictatorial leader, they'll throw your ass in the fucking gulag. That's how it's not. Oh, you think, oh, but sir, I'm white and I have white children and I'm a fascist. Look at my patch on my shirt. They don't give a fuck if you disagree with them. You're cooked, dog. And it's I don't know. I have zero respect for these people. Zero respect. And we've let them get away with shit for far too fucking long. We've let this fester for far too fucking long.
Yeah.
You know, and the weak-kneed Democrats and liberals and leftists are not really like, I don't know, they weren't really in the fight for a long time, so you had all this fucking Nazi energy bubbling up on the right with nothing to push back against it. And it's time to fucking push back against it.
Well,
like, now
Elon,
these motherfuckers are tweeting from the Homeland Security fucking Twitter page.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about
What,
here?
and Elon buying Twitter is an important part of that too,
Right,
because
yeah.
then it's just like, Twitter is just like 4chan now.
Yeah,
You know, it's just like all out in the open. And yeah, these people need to go back in the closet.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be in shame if you hold these sorts of views or think it's like cool to post this just overt Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, that's right. Hey guys, we had a great conversation with Andrew Callahan of Channel 5. He just did an amazing interview with Hunter Biden that was over 3 hours long. Definitely go check out the whole thing. But if you want to know the entire background story and what it was like and how we met Hunter and what he thinks about the whole thing, subscribe below on Substack. You'll get our full talk with Andrew and you don't want to miss it.